Yes.
I'm surprised you could even get out of bed this morning.
I have to go to work.
Luckily for you, otherwise you might really have tied one on.
I already said I was sorry.
I heard you.
What else would you like me to do?
You could try not drinking so much.
How often have I done that?
Last night was once too often.
I had a good reason.
For making a fool of yourself?
Of myself or of you?
I certainly wasn't the one lurching about the spa, juggling drinks and extolling the virtues of the working class.
Excuse me for begging you to take me along.
Grant, what's wrong with you? You used to enjoy parties.
I still enjoy parties, just not with that crowd.
You mean my friends?
Yeah. Probably one of your friends calling now to complain about my boorish behavior last night.
I wouldn't be at all surprised. Hello?
How is my favorite interior designer today?
Fine, how are you?
Impatient. I'm wondering, when are we going to get together and discuss the plans for my cabin?
Soon.
Soon, like today?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I can't.
Celia, if you don't help me, I'm going to have to abandon the entire project.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Then when shall we meet?
This afternoon.
Good. Where?
Here.
Now, that is much, much more like it. I'll see you later.
Goodbye.
You're really very good.
What do you mean?
Well, I never would have guessed from what you were saying, but I'm afraid that your face gave you away, darling. So, what does he want now?
How did Laura take it?
Not very well, Ruby, not very well.
That poor girl. Oh, imagine getting this kind of news that far away. She must be desperate.
At least she knows that her mother is gone now.
Were you able to tell them about Mike and Blackie?
No, there's no way I could have told her that. Not at the same time, no.
Quiet down. What do you want?
My lawyer.
What, now?
Yeah, go get Jake mine and tell him I made up my mind.
Okay.
Is something wrong?
You still haven't told me what Putnam wanted?
He has bought back his father's cabin in the Adirondacks.
And he wanted to invite you up for the weekend.
He wants me to decorate it.
I can imagine. Which wall is he planning to hang you on?
That was uncalled for.
Why you, Celia? You're not the only interior designer in town.
I'm the only one he knows. I'm the only one who knows exactly what he wants, probably even better than he does.
Exactly what does he want?
He wants to recapture the atmosphere of the cabin as it was when we were children. I spent a lot of time there as a kid. And he thinks that with my help, we can bring back the carefree feeling of the place.
Why?
I don't know why. I suppose to hold on to his youth somehow.
All right. All right, that's his reason. Now, what's your reason? What are you going to get out of all this? Are you nostalgic for your past as well?
As a matter of fact, I am. Yes. I think the whole idea is very touching. Those days when I spent time at the cabin, well, that was a very important period in my life. A very important part of my roots.
Your roots?
Yes, my roots. You, of all people, should understand that.
Why me?
Well, isn't that what you and Boris and Tanya are doing? Wallowing in your roots?
Hardly the same thing.
No? Then what would you call it?
I'd call it associating with friends, but we're not talking about me, we are talking about you.
All right.
So, what is your real reason for wanting to work with Putnam?
We could use the money.
There's other work that you can do.
What? I finished the models for the condos, I finished the ELQ offices, and now I've finished the spa. There's nothing else for me to do. Now, why shouldn't I work for Grant while I can?
I can think of several reasons.
None of them good ones.
All right, Celia. I accept your point, but don't expect me to like it.
I know how you feel.
How so?
I'm not real wild about your drinking either.
Thank you, Ruby.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just, it was a lot harder telling Laura than I thought. If I'd been able to face them, I think that would have been much better.
Are they coming home?
Well, they wanted to, but I told them not to give up that trip.
And what?
And I'm selfish, Ruby. I'm still going through my own feelings, my own adjustments with Leslie's death. And if Luke and Laura came back now, I think it would make it a lot harder for me to bear. I've got to come to terms with it, and I don't know how much more I can take.
Well, I think I can understand that.
Besides, is there anything that they could do to help bring Leslie back? No. They've got their own sorrows. They're going to have to deal with that themselves. Luke should be helping Laura, not having to worry about me.
Look, I know they can't bring Leslie back, but there is the problem with Ginny and Mike and Blackie. I think they could be of great help.
Possibly they could, but they have their own lives to live. The time they're having together now, that's something that is long overdue. With everything they've been through, they're entitled to this trip. And every time we have a problem, can we go say, hey, come on back, we have a problem to deal with?
Well, I don't think this is just any problem.
No, it does seem like my whole world is disintegrated around me, doesn't it?
What are you going to do about it?
In long-range plans, I'm going to pick up all the pieces, and I'm going to go ahead with life. That's just about all I can do, isn't it? Right now, I'm going to go see Rose. Then I'm going to see Blackie. Maybe spending the night in jail. His attitude will have changed a little bit.
And if it hasn't?
I'm not going to give up. I don't want that kid going to prison.
It was just like I told Commissioner Scorpio. I walked into the room and I heard that tape. I was shocked. And then Blackie and Lou started arguing about it. And then they struggled. And the next thing I knew, Lou was on the floor.
And you just stood there and watched them fight?
Well, it all happened so fast. I mean, as soon as I realized she was hurt, I went and I got Frisco.
Is that it?
The rest you know.
Is this the tape you heard?
Hey, catch this part, Blackie. It's my best song.
It's real good, Josh. Why don't you finish up there? Because I got work to do and I'm having problems concentrating.
Well, hold on, man. The ending's coming up. You'll love it. You say your love couldn't be any stronger. Because if it's real, don't wait any longer. Make me...
Is that the tape in question?
Yeah, that's the tape I heard in Blackie's room.
Thank you, Miss Brand. That'll be all for now. Escort Miss Brand out and show Mr. Jones in, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ah, Mr. Jones. Please just tell me in your own words, what happened?
I wasn't there for the accident.
Well, just tell me what you did see.
While I was in my room, I was getting dressed for dinner, and Steph came in, and she said there was an accident.
How did she seem to you?
She was in shock, you know. I could tell she was about ready to lose it, so I went right over to Blackie's room, and when I got there, he was on the floor holding Lou.
Did he say anything?
Well, he told me to do something. He told me to get help.
And what did you do?
Well, I went straight to the phone. I called the front desk and told them to get an ambulance up there right away and to get the police.
What made you ask for the police?
I just thought that was the thing to do in that situation.
In what situation? Murder?
Hey, there was nobody murdered. Lou's dead, but it was an accident. You sent him to jail, and you're convicting an innocent kid.
Not according to him.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He would never hurt her. Ever.
I disagree. Mr. Parrish is more than capable of hurting Miss Swenson. Look at his record. He tried to rape her once. Killing is definitely something that Blackie Parrish is capable of.
Just holler up when you're through.
Sure thing, thanks. Well, you sure took your sweet time about calling me. For a while there, I thought you'd never change your mind. Can't tell you how glad I am that you called, Blackie. Well, you ready to switch your plea?
I ain't switching anything.
Well, what'd you call me here for?
So I need two things from you. Neither of them are to get me out of here, all right?
Blackie.
One, I want you to drop a paper saying that I waive all my rights over to Josh for making me believe I want him to get all the profit.
Why?
Because he deserves it.
No, I mean, why bother about that now?
Because I don't have much time.
Exactly. Take care of yourself first.
I am taking care of myself.
Okay? Okay, fine. All rights to Josh. Consider it done. Now, what about your plea?
That's my second thing.
Well, thank goodness.
My plea stands. I want you to get it over as soon as possible, all right?
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go to them and tell them I want it over with as soon as possible.
Are you through?
You gonna do those things for me?
Not until I set you straight about a few things.
Come on, Jake. I know what you're gonna say.
No, you don't, sweetheart. You haven't got the slightest idea. But I'm gonna lay it out for you, because I hate to see a man go to hell without knowing what to expect. It's gonna be life for you in prison.
Find out soon enough.
Oh, yes, you will, Blackie. And God help you when you do.
Jake, I deserve it, man.
Nobody deserves what you're gonna get when they clang those bars shut behind you. I don't want to scare you, Blackie, but I feel you should know what you're walking into here. No, change that. Running into.
I know what I have to do.
Well, then you're a fool. Or a masochist. The Blackie I used to know is neither. Blackie, you're going to be locked up with hardened criminals. Those men aren't in there because of some accident like you. What they did, they meant to do. And are likely to go on doing it over and over again. Your roommates will be murderers and rapists, and that's if you're lucky. We're talking about the sickest of the sick here, Blackie. And you're going to be thrown right in the middle of the pack.
I'm like my kind of guys, Jake.
You think this is some kind of joke?
Do you see me laughing?
Well, you better be, because you sure won't once you get inside.
Good.
Good. Good. I don't think you understand what I'm telling you, Blackie.
I know what I have to do,
What,
Jake.
throw yourself to the lions? Those men are going to eat you alive. Only they won't show you the mercy of killing you. Most of those men haven't seen a woman in years, Blackie, so they make do. You understand what I'm telling you? They divvy up each new batch of inmates. The younger ones are especially prized. You're going to be the pick of the litter. Are you ready for that?
I could take care of myself.
There are better ways of dealing with your guilt.
Yeah, well,
Blackie.
this is my way, all right? So go do what I tell you.
Guard.
Finished up in there?
Fortunately. Blackie, you can change your mind.
I won't.
terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
How did you deal with losing Leslie?
I hurt. I hurt a great deal, and I still do. But there's nothing you can do about it. It will help if you remember the times that you spent, the good times, and you don't think about the others, the loss.
When she died, did you pray?
I prayed a lot, but there were some times that all I could do was try.
I've tried, Rick, and I just can't. I just can't. The words don't come. I'm just so bitter. I can't do it.
Well,
But not to be able to pray, Rick, you don't understand. I've prayed all my life. And now it's like I've been cast adrift, you know? It's like my faith is gone, and it was like all I had now.
hey, you've got your friends. You got every one of us, and we'll be there. We'll see you through it.
Oh, no. Will you please
Yes,
do that?
of
I
course.
can't.
I can. Hello. Yes, Jake, she's right here. I'll ask her. It's Jake who'd like to talk to you.
No,
You don't even want to talk to him?
no, and I don't want him anywhere near me. You can tell him that.
Jake, she's very upset. No, she is extremely upset. She doesn't want to talk right now. All right, I will. Yes, thank you. What was that all about?
What?
You don't even want to talk to Jake? Does this have anything to do with Blackie?
Jake's defending Blackie, and it's just not in my heart to forgive Blackie for what he's done.
Rose, Blackie is...
Rick, don't. Please don't ask me. I'm sorry.
He's just a kid. You know that he did not mean to hurt Lou in any way.
You better go now.
Rose, you have to, for Blackie's sake.
I won't forgive him. I can't. Now, that's all I have to say to you, or Jake, or anyone else. Now, I'd like to be left alone, please.
Come in, it's open.
Hi.
Tanya, how are you?
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
Well, that's okay. Come on in. You looking for your dad?
Yeah, I brought him his lunch. Is he around?
No, he's not. I had to send him out on a project.
Well, do you know when he'll be back?
Not till quitting time, if at all. I'm sorry.
What am I going to do with his lunch?
I don't know.
Jimmy Lee, we're all
Hi.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
Well, this is certainly a nice surprise.
Well, I came down here with Father's lunch, but apparently he's working on another site.
Yeah, he went over there first thing this morning.
Well, I guess he'll just have to eat out. I guess I better let you guys get back to work.
What are you planning to do with the lunch that you brought for your dad?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it.
Well, it just so happens that I don't have lunch with me either. Celia and I both slept late today, so neither one of us had a chance to make any. How would you like it if I took you out to lunch?
The thing is, I only get an hour for lunch. I really couldn't go out.
I'll tell you what. I think that I can solve your problem. I got some business I got to take care of. Why don't you guys stay here and have your lunch in the trailer, okay?
That sounds good to me.
Great. Where's it?
I mean, it would be a shame to waste this meal that you prepared, don't you think?
Well, I guess in your condition, I suppose I really couldn't refuse. I mean, after all, there's nothing like a hearty meal for a man who's, you know, had a little too much to drink.
Yeah, I know. I know. Now, let's see, what have we got here? Oh, boy, this looks good. Tell me something. How do you know so much about drinking?
I know about health. I work at the hospital, remember? Hi, Will. What's wrong?
Oh, I just feel so sorry for Rick. He finally reached Laura. told Luke and Laura the news about Leslie.
Well, what's going to happen?
Whatever it is, it's not going to be good.
I'm really hassled today. I had worst headache. I just feel like dog meat.
No, I know.
Bobbie, I gotta talk to you.
What about?
Look, it's very important. You got a minute?
Okay, let's go over to the lounge. Rhubarb. Excuse me for a second.
That's all right, honey. I've got to get home. I've got to be there before Mike.
All right, we'll talk.
Yeah.
Take this any longer, being apart from you. Oh, Bobbie, look, I love you.
I am not interested in being in any part of your life if you are going to continue with your shady business deals.
I put the factory up for sale.
I heard.
No one will touch it at any price.
Can you blame them?
What am I supposed to do? Turn the factory into a museum?
Why don't you try doing what Rick told you to do in the first place? Replace the machinery and reopen the lease.
Would that bring you back to me?
It's a start.
Okay. I'm willing to try it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, you stick around, because I will show you. I'll be right back. And, look, Bobbie, I'll do anything to keep you. Even admit that Rick Weber was right.
Talk to Jake, huh?
Yeah, he says that you're sticking to your decision. You're bound and determined to crucify yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, well, at least I have a choice. Who did make a choice?
Blackie, that just makes it that much more tragic. Now, I beg you, I plead to you. Don't throw your life away. Change that plea before it is too late.
Man's gotta do. Man's gotta do. You always taught me that.
Blackie, I happen to need you right now. In case you haven't noticed, my life is slightly in shreds at the moment. Leslie is dead. She died. She is no longer with me. You are trying to commit suicide. Laura's gone. And Mike. No telling what Mike will do now.
Mike will get over it. He's a young kid.
Mike happens to idolize you. He worships you. And you pick now, of all times, to desert him.
What do you mean now, of all times? What's the matter? What's the matter with Mikey?